Okay. Good evening. Today I'm going to do part of my live on just one of my throw together dinners that I do of just random stuff that I had in my freezer. It's going to be basically a beef stroganoff, but instead of just the traditional brown stroganoff, I'm adding a bunch of mushrooms, and once again I threw in some kale and spinach. I do this because Catalina absolutely refuses to eat vegetables. She will eat fruit day in and day out. She tries to say she doesn't like red sauce because her daddy doesn't like red sauce. Well, he particularly doesn't like red sauce on pizza. So then he has to say, no, I like this spaghetti with this red sauce. But tonight we're doing a white sauce, so she should be happy. Like I said, I'm going to just do a throw on a beef stroganoff with what I had in my fridge and here on the already in hand. So far I've already started my beef because I wanted to jump in the shower while it kind of started to slow cook. Here I have in this a bunch of white onion. Once again, like I said, I'm going to do more of a mushroom sauce instead of a standard stroganoff sauce. And then I've got the kale and some spinach in there, like I said, because Catalina refuses to eat any sort of vegetable. So as much as I can, I try to throw that in there. My butter I have here, that's just going to go all here so I can start to get all this sauteed together. And then in this bowl, I have cream cheese, sour cream, and then I'm going to use heavy cream, and I've got my Worcestershire, of course. Oh, and then that's part of my salad for dinner. I got some cucumbers, tomato, and an apple cider vinaigrette with salt and pepper. So, like I said, the one pan, my beef, my mushrooms, kale, spinach, white onions mixed all in here. I do that so I can trick Catalina to eat some greens. Okay, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see me with my little setup here. My beef is already half cooked. And my mushroom mix is here. My beef mix is here. And I'm just going to cook it all down. Once this gets good fry on it, I'll add the sour cream cheese mix with some Worcestershire sauce. And then the heavy cream. My house is super quiet right now because the baby, I snuck and left her downstairs with her daddy. I went and helped him on a vehicle. Told him I wanted to come upstairs, get dinner prepped, and jump in the shower. So I snuck out and left her downstairs with daddy. My ears and throat hurt. And I'm not digging it at all. It's not as bad, but yesterday my stomach, my throat, and my ears were killing me. Well, thank you, Miss Kim. Hello. Hope your throat feels better yourself. I'll just let all this cook down. And then I will add the mushroom sauce in with all the beef, obviously. And then I will pull out my noodles and stuff and get those a boiling. My beef, I just seasoned it like you would normally. Season, salt, pepper, garlic powder, and onion powder. Like I said, I'm just cooking it down. I got stew chunks is what I'm using, and I kind of cut the fat off of some of the pieces and trimmed them up a little more than they were. But here's what that's starting to look like. The mushrooms and everything are starting to cook down. I'll let those mushrooms and stuff, everything here, saute together for probably another 15 minutes. And then I will add the sour cream and cream cheese. I like to add some cream cheese to mine. And the Worcestershire sauce at that time. And then the heavy cream. And then once I have that sauce going and getting roux together good, then I will pour it over the meat and mix them. But with the amount of mushrooms and everything that there was before they cooked down, because you see they're already over half, shrunk down half the size now. I just wanted to use a separate pan, then I will pull my big pan out and boil my water. And like I said, it's going to be more like a cream of a mushroom beef stroganoff. But we'll see. And then I've got my cucumbers and tomatoes there, like I always do, for my salad, marinating in a little bit of apple cider vinegar with salt and pepper. Then I've got some purple lettuce. I will chop up and toss that in with it, and a little bit of kale and spinach as well. And I will call that dinner tonight. I know y'all are used to seeing me going doing baking on my cakes and stuff. I figured tonight I would do something different because I always have people that are asking me how I do things. And like I said, I don't plan my dinners. I wake up and I'm like, okay, yay, what am I going to cook today? And I look at what I have and I cook whatever I have. And these were all ingredients that I had on hand. Well, I called my mom and stole the Worcestershire sauce from my mom. But that's the privilege of my mother only being 2 blocks away. But I had the beef stew chunks already in my freezer. I had the kale, I had the onions, I had the mushrooms, and I knew the mushrooms would be going bad in the next day or two. And now that it's my days off, Brian ain't going to be cooking himself anything. So the mushrooms would have definitely gone to waste because he normally will just saute them up and eat them for himself. So that's what they're going to get used for tonight. Catalina should definitely have no problem because it's a white or brown sauce because it's not, she don't like red because she thinks she's her father. But I'll probably do what I usually do when I make my cream of mushroom. So I will actually throw part of this mixture into a blender and blend it with, once I get all the cream and everything in there, so it actually enhances the flavor. Because I normally, if I wouldn't have had to help Brian today or wouldn't have taken a nap with Catalina, I would have started the mushroom sauce hours ago, so it could be cooking. But that's what I do for a fast, good, intensive flavor. Okay, y'all, I'm gonna go off live for a little bit. Once it comes time for me to mix everything back together, I will come back on. I need to go have my nicotine fix.